Station. What up?
Going
What up?
Boom, motherfucker. Great shit.
What up, fellas?
Hells yeah, hells yeah. What up, man? Good to be here. Good to be here. Here tonight to review Stephen King's The Night Flyer, coming out from 1997. One of them earlier HBO I'd say HBO movies that obviously were direct to HBO.
Well, actually, it was a real movie.
HBO it's a real movie, but
HBO got it, and then it came out in theaters like a year later.
Yeah, Paramount had picked it up, but they weren't, for some reason, they weren't going to release it till '98, so they went ahead and sent it to like HBO or something like that.
Which is odd for a movie to come out on HBO and then really. I wonder how
that's
often
how it's
that
done
happened
nowadays.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how much that happened back in the day. I never, because I read that too, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I wonder if they did that a lot. Yeah. And it said it did poorly when it hit theaters. It's like, well, that kind of makes sense. It was already on HBO. It was already a thing.
And they probably showed it.
I would be curious to see some, like, because, you know, like people that subscribe to HBO back in the day used to get those like the magazine every week, the little guy. Like, I'm curious to see some of those to see if they actually were hyping this up. Like, did they promote this like in between movies or shows? Well, back then, I think the only show was Oz, but like, you know, I wonder if they were hyping it up. I wonder if they promoted the hell out of it, or just one day they were like, Night Flyer.
Right. I would assume it's Stephen King. It's a huge household name. I would assume they did, but yeah, I'm curious.
Coming for the first time only to HBO, the latest movie from the Master of Terror.
Right.
I don't know if they did when they were
back then too, wasn't it?
Wasn't
that around the time that Tales of the Dark Side was on HBO about that time?
Yeah, I would. With Dylan, I don't think that the. I hope I agree with you. I hope they didn't show like that promo art, like the DVD cover. I hope that wasn't like on the HBO magazine that month or some shit, because that's the big reveal.
Right.
It was always on the VHS and DVD, which that was always a big bummer. That it's what kind of buys you in to be like, oh, this looks interesting, you know.
Right.
But with how the movie is paced, it's definitely a huge fucking spoiler. So that was always a bummer. I'd say I probably would have never rented it without the cover.
Right.
But it's a really cool cover without it, even just with the plane. You know what I mean? So
when you dropped that link though, and I saw that, like I you're right. Like it did spoil it, but yeah, I got more excited to watch it. I was like, oh shit, because I had watched this forever ago, but I forgot that. But I was a little bummed, like you guys are saying. It's like, oh yeah, that's the reveal. Would have been better without it. I was gonna watch it either way.
Yeah,
it's a crime that it's a crime that somebody hasn't picked that up, because
I know
I've seen that movie. I think warranted a decent release. It doesn't have one.
They recently put out, where is it? Return to Salem's Lot. Where the fuck is that? Return to Salem's Lot.
That's a lot. That's not as good as this.
It's got the name though.
Right.
It's marketable. Salem's Lot. It's more marketable than Night Flyer.
Well, and it's done by Cohen. It is definitely like.
It's never been released on Blu-ray at all.
No.
Like, it deserves. And DVD. So, like, most of us, I'm sure, had to watch it on YouTube, and some people have put it up on YouTube. And my dumbass watched the full frame one. Like,
I do too. That sucked too. Let me tell you, that fucking blew too.
Well, then I was looking at the widescreen one, and I'm like, is it cropped? Like, I don't know, because there's certain things like Dark Half, for instance,
zoomed in or something. But my DVD shows it fully. But I'm not gonna lie.
No, if you go to
make
IMDb,
it more pixelated. The bigger your TV is gonna be, like the big,
IMDb has it at a 1.85, which is a full widescreen. So
so like, but there's certain things where like Dark Half, I know that they like Romero preferred the 4:3, right? Like he preferred that for some reason, and a lot of times what they'll do is like this didn't. What I'm trying to say is this didn't feel like a pan and scan. It just felt like
wasn't a pans. Yeah,
it just felt like they just uncropped it basically.
Right.
So,
could you guys fill me in? What does pan and scan mean, if you don't mind? What do you mean?
It takes a widescreen movie and parks a camera in the middle, and the camera follows the action on the screen. So they'll pan it to the left, pan it to the right,
and it looks very unnatural.
Right, whatever's most important, they'll.
Right. And if you ever watch any like the old musicals or some stuff that used to be on TV, you don't see much of it nowadays because obviously everything's widescreen. But back in the day, they used to do that. So you don't see it much anymore.
Yeah, and then and what I feel like in this case, and in a lot of cases, like they film this, but with the idea that it's going to crop to this. So they're like they film it like this, but with the idea to do this. So it looks like they just kind of used. I don't know. There's certain films that do that, and it didn't bother me in the full frame. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's never bothered me, to be honest, because I
don't think it's much missing.
The Tales from the Crypt episodes are all full frame like that, and those are that's how that was filmed. So
because that was the shape of TVs back then.
Yeah,
right.
But
so we need to petition Shout with somebody, Arrow, or Kino Lorber, to put out a disc.
I feel like this would be a perfect shout. I know they wouldn't do like a collector's edition. They would probably just do like a regular edition with no slip or anything, and it would probably come with this cover exactly. Which that I'd be completely fine. Just give me a 2K, 4K scan. That's all I need. I don't know. I would have liked some special features on this because there's none at all. And Miguel Ferreira, unfortunately, not with us anymore. So it'd have been cool to get like an interview from King or something, because this is based off of one of his short stories.
Well, one crazy thing about it too is so the director Mark Pavia or whatever, like this is his first film, and I think he only did 2 films. Like his second film was like way later, and he doesn't even have a wiki page or nothing. And I believe that this is my buddy Blake told me this, but the lady in the movie who plays the other reporter, who's not in the book, right? But she was actually like his girlfriend or something, and never acted in anything.
I saw, dude. I thought she was Phoebe fucking Cates.
Yeah,
dude, she's got that vibe.
Right.
I watched the video on her. He dated that girl. That's probably why she's in the movie.
She's gorgeous.
And she only made like 2 flicks. And then the next flick she went on, she married the director.
That's funny.
And then she retired. She became like a real estate thing.
That's funny.
Is good because she's not great in this movie. So.
Hell yeah, Garcia. I'm super glad I own it on DVD as well. Man, I'd own this fucker twice if I ever find like a brand new copy, I'll snag it up, man. Because this is
in the grand scheme of like Stephen King adaptions, it's certainly not the worst. I mean, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. That's
right.
It's I love the pacing. All right, we'll get into it.
I enjoyed it.
If you're just joining in, like subscribe, hit that thumbs up, like I already said when I said like. But Robbie, any of the Vern said that he's seen this before.
I saw it back when it came out, but I just had vague memories of it. It's been like 20 years at least.
Is it anyone's first time, Scarphead?
Same thing. I probably saw on HBO back in the day, but it's been 25 years.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start it off, and I'm gonna say, and then we'll go Robbie after me. I'm gonna say, this was one I don't think I caught it on HBO. I might have caught pieces, and then I just know 100% that I would see this I think it was the VHS though. It wasn't the DVD. It eventually became a DVD, but I would always see this cover and Stephen King. And there was a time when I was just hunting at the video stores every Stephen King adaptation to rent so I could watch, like Rose Red, because some of them weren't always easy to find, and some of them would be, like 2 VHSs. I remember Rose Red was literally 2 big ass VHSs, and it's like a 4-hour movie, might even be longer.
It and The Stand were like that too.
Right.
Yeah.
The Stand was like 3, I think, or
Dude,
3 or 4.
I remember, like, you know what I'm
Yeah, they
saying?
were miniseries back then.
I'd go to Blockbuster at like right before they're closing, and me and my uncle would grab like The Stand and then like, like a regular one, like let's say The Stand and The Night Flyer. So you got one that's like 4 hours, and then 2. Man, we'd be up all night just watching 2 movies. Something like when we watched Rose Red, I swear it felt like we were up. We pulled an all-nighter just to watch one movie. But you guys know, huge Stephen King fan. Like Stephen King is it's one of the only book writers I could read as a kid. No books really ever kind of, besides comics, ever caught my attention, but Stephen King's always did. And this movie, man, I think it's great, man. I think it's unique. I think it's paced perfectly. I know to some people it might be slowly paced at times, but for what we get, I think it is perfect. I think Miguel is awesome, perfect dickhead, but just has that look, man, just like, I don't give a fuck, like, you see him just like when he's about to get pulled over, just got this mean look the whole time. Like, God, man, he was good though. And then the little main side chick, who you guys said was the director's girl or whatever, I think she's good too. I like the little Jimmy Olsen remarks. You got the head of the paper, who's a fucking like crazy asshole, but just funny and psychotic, and just kind of trying to throw these two at each other because he knows Deez is psycho and will do anything to get.
Wait, what's the dude's name again?
I forget his name. Deez.
Deez nuts.
I've
been waiting all week to do that.
Is it Richard Deez?
Dick Deez. Dick Deez
Dick
nuts.
Deez nuts, motherfucker.
We get references to dairy, I believe. I think it's dairy in this.
Mm-hmm.
And you get one of the coolest vampire names ever, Dwight Renfield. Every time I hear that, man, I just think the white around your lips. About the Benjamins and Mike F.
Well, Renfield was Bela Lugosi's original Dracula name.
Really?
Yeah, and Dwight Fry was the actor who portrayed Renfield in the Todd Browning film with Bela Lugosi, and so it's Dwight Renfield. They explain that in the fucking in the movie. Like, they're like, in case nobody gets the reference, they explain it, and they're like, so the guy's a movie fan.
I didn't catch it, and I watched this fucker twice.
Well, man, I like. They say Richard Deez facts are always trends in fiction. Every headline is a deadline. Serial killers, UFO abductions.
From what I've read too, Richard Deez, the character, appears in the Dead Zone as a reporter that interviews the senator, I guess.
Get out of here. Cool.
I just finished The Dark Tower this week, finally, and like, it is all fucking connected.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them are connected. I haven't read enough of his books, but little characters sprinkle out.
I really enjoy the music in this as well. I think it's shot really good. Especially for, like you said, a first-time director. I think it's shot really well. I like a lot of the scenes in this. I love, you get the opening scene where the guy just gets his face slashed. I really like the idea of this guy going around on his plane and just going from airport to airport and just gutting dudes, man, and just going on his way. Like, I feel like that's a good idea that I could really see happening, and I think it's executed well. I'd like a little bit more of the vampire, but I think for what they use makes it where you're like, oh man, I like this. I want more of it. So they did it. They did a good job, and I think honestly, probably in the end, they probably did the perfect amount of what they needed to do. They could have added maybe a little extra thing here and there, a little extra gore with some of the kills, because they're pretty good. You know how they got the holes in their neck, and they're drained of blood completely. But But I think, like I said, the music, I really enjoy the music. Every time I watch this, man, I really, for it being even kind of slow, it's only an hour and a half, so it's not paced like that badly, I wouldn't say. Like Salem, like where I know when we did Salem's Lot, that's like 3 hours long. So that pacing problem is a little bit harsh for some people. Where me, I enjoy it. I know when we did it right, it is a little slow. I know, man. It ain't one you just throw on because you got an hour to chill. But I do really enjoy this film, man, and I think it does not get enough credit or love at all. I mean, obviously, it's still on this freaking, clamshell DVD set. And that's one thing I love about the show, man. This is one, you guys know I've been throwing this out there for a while. I've been dying to talk about this. This one just, I love Stephen King, and I just feel like this is one that is.
Is that DVD a flipper?
I know we talk about like Langoliers and shit. There's some slept on ones. Robbie, my man, what are you thinking though, bro? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm like Scarpad and Vern. Like, I saw this movie somehow back in the day. I think I first watched it when I worked at Hollywood 18. We're talking like probably like 2000, right? So I think I picked it up on VHS, rented it, watched it. It was kind of forgettable at the time. Haven't even thought about this movie until you keep bringing it up. But I watched it and I enjoyed it. I think it's one of the better Stephen King film adaptations from the
TV
90s.
movies as well, because it's technically a TV movie. I know.
Well, but it is a movie, and Richard Rubinstein was the one who corrected it. Is that the Rubinstein who produced Night Living Dead? I need to look into that. But I
know that last name, Rubinstein.
I was surprised, man. I was actually surprised. Miguel Ferrara is fantastic. Now I know and love him so much in Twin Peaks. Right.
Oh,
and this movie, like we're probably going to get into the music, but the music to me even gave me a Twin Peaks kind of vibe. So like I was down for it. It felt like a really good long episode of Tales from the Crypt is what it felt like to me. As a movie from 97, it's okay. Right. But for what it is and for what it's trying to do, I was rather impressed. I think it's tightly paced. Actually, I have no problems with the pacing on this. I like that the stuff that they added in the reporter lady, and that whole idea. They added in this ending, because the original ending in the book, like the vampire shows up, they confront, and he just leaves. Like that's it. It's like, apparently it's like the last couple paragraphs of the short story. Now I haven't read the short story, but what I read about that short story, that's the ending in the movie is way better. It's kind of like a missed situation.
Right.
But I liked it. I think that Miguel Ferrara kills his performance. So I think that's very strong. I had fun with it. It is a little bit cheesy in the right kind of way. Like I said, it felt like a really good episode of Tales from the Crypt, right?
That's exactly what my little brother said, man.
Yeah, I mean, it gets that
like
vibe.
A really good episode of that.
Yeah, I like the music. I like the way it's shot. The special effects, and that's it's Nicotero and it's K&B, right?
K&B.
Yeah.
KMB, fuck
it's
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They're fire.
It's absolutely phenomenal.
No matter whatever they touch goes to gold. That's fucking The Walking Dead the last 12 years,
Yeah, so it's the performances and the special effects and the music that really carry it over.
No wonder why it looks so good.
Yeah, they look great. The special effects look great. It's very much a Stephen King film. I like the changes they made. Overall, I had a lot of fun with this film. I don't think it's exceptionally well done, but compared to things like The Langoliers and Sleepwalkers, this is fucking goddamn Citizen Kane. Or Tommyknockers, yeah. Oh my goodness.
Tommyknockers,
come on.
That's one of the worst ones. Even though I do love that one too, kind of.
Who doesn't like Tommyknockers?
Yeah, what was I gonna say? Fuck, there's something you said. I was gonna say, and it's funny because you say like it kind of reminds you of Tales from the Crypt. HBO, they put out they were the ones who were putting out Tales from the Crypt. So I wonder if they ever had like little double platform promotion for that, like Night Flyer, and then after a new episode of Tales from the Crypt will air, But Scarpad, my man, what did you think of this?
I love the movie. Look, I'm wearing my Kolchak the Night Stalker shirt for a reason. I'm not wearing it just to look great, which I do. I'm wearing it because this is the vibe I got from this movie.
Yeah.
Kolchak the Night Stalker. I tell you, if there was ever a guy that could have played Kolchak, if they brought back the series seriously, not like they did in the 90s with that Stuart Townsend guy, Miguel Ferreira could have played Kolchak because he had that mixture of good sleaziness, reportedness to get the job done, do whatever it takes to get the job done. He could have easily been Kolchak the Night Stalker. This easily could have been a Kolchak the Night Stalker episode. And it really kind of is like a Kolchak Night. But if I was going to cast a movie in the 90s about a reporter who's kind of sleazy, who would I fucking go get? I'd get the guy that blew fucking cocaine off of titties in RoboCop.
Right.
That is the guy I would go get, the titty man. And he did a fantastic job in this movie because he portrayed that reporter with the right amount of go-get-emness. That scene where the girl reporter meets her into the bar there and he just unloads on her.
Yeah,
was fantastic.
I'm watching that. I'm like, bro, like, calm down. You may get some tonight if you play your cards right now.
Right.
No, but that was a secondary thing. There was no Mulder Scully bullshit going on there. He locked her in a fucking closet, and that's what the Kolchak used to do to the woman that used to follow him around, locked in the closet. Get away from me. But I mean, so that whole sense of the reporter that will portray himself in a different manner, that was really fantastic. Now, you mentioned some of the co-stars. I thought the movie may have done a little bit better if the co-stars were a little better. The girl was okay. She was a little bit of a weak actress. She didn't do much before that, so can't really fight her. The editor was a little mishmashy, but he was all right for what he did. The whole movie was Miguel Ferreira. And if it wasn't for him being in it, I don't think it would have been as good as it was. Man, that guy blew fucking cocaine off of titties. He'd make a perfect reporter. And then you had the guy that doesn't get enough credit playing the vampire. That guy that looked like a low-rent Nathan Fillion when he was young. He had the hair. And this had a great performance. That vampire had like 2 teeth that came down like this.
Right.
Where did you ever see? Instead of this, he had this. That's why they had the holes in their neck like that.
Yeah, that's a cool bit right there. I like that a lot.
Never saw that before because you ripped the throats real out. I think the gore was done, well and probably just enough. The cinematography, that scene in the end where, with the mist and all that and everybody coming back to life.
Yeah, the black and white bit.
The movie with the black and white, just to get him so he could get killed at the end. Spoiler. No, I like that. I like the music. I think it was really, this movie got dumped onto HBO and then never got a great theatrical release. Or maybe it would have done better, I think. But no, I really enjoyed it. I love the movie. Miguel Ferreira, that guy just nailed it.
He did.
Definitely.
And Stephen King had actually written at least a treatment for a sequel to this that followed the lady reporter.
Really?
Into her, and
they
showing more of
her
descent. But yeah, who wants to fund and finance a sequel to a movie that nobody fucking saw?
That was a failure. Right.
I bet they put it on like HBO some Saturday night, probably during the fucking NBA finals or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. If anybody collects those HBO programs, I would like to know. Like, if you got some from 97, let me know.
I could see Stephen King definitely being influenced by Kolchak. I could see him being a fan and kind of doing like his own spin with the reporter and everything. So he doesn't have a lot of stories where the main guy is a reporter, I feel like. I could be wrong.
Yeah, and a reporter for a tabloid too. So that adds a different element too.
Yeah.
And apparently Stephen King personally went after Miguel Ferreira to do this movie.
Really?
Like that was like a passion. Like he was like, this guy's got to play this guy.
Dude, he's absolutely. I mean, he is the best part of the movie. I mean, besides like the ending and the kill scenes, he is what makes it. He is fantastic in it. I just love his attitude, his just nonchalant. I don't give a fuck about anything.
The great fucking scene, I don't think it connected to the movie at all. But remember, he's driving down the highway and there's this big pile up and people are dead in the road. I don't think that had nothing to do with anything. but it made his
to show what kind of man he is.
Yes, he gets out, he takes a picture, and he moves the dead woman's arm so he can get a better picture of the face.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
The way he talks to the cop.
Like Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
like is shit that these guys probably did back in the day when they had like less rules.
Press, motherfucker, press.
They did whatever. They did what I know. Get your fucking hands off me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that shit works, bro. I don't give a fuck who you are. You step the fuck back away from this.
Right. Every time they say that, they're like, "Oh, just stay."
Nowadays, a cop would have maced them and zapped them, and he'd be on the side of the road twitching.
Unless it was Eddie Murphy, they'll allow on any crime scene in The Golden Child. No reason to be there, but sure, come on, take pictures of these dead bodies, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a series, but I need KMB to come back and do
Well, I don't want them to do a series of this. They would like fucking stretch this shit out forever, bro.
I could see it though. I mean, I kind of get his point, just like the fact that it's like a serial killer. Like I could see it being stretched out into an interesting 4-parter or something like that. 6-episode miniseries. Because I was reading that, I was thinking about that too. That'd be interesting.
If they drew the only weak spot, and then him traveling to other places, you know.
Got a mosquito flying around my room. I don't want to get got by this little fucking.
The only weak spot in the whole fucking movie is you gotta realize what kind of lame ass fucking vampire has to rent a fucking Cessna to fly himself around the country. Why can't he fucking fly? He's a fucking
dude. Every fucking vampire doesn't turn into a bat.
Look, I'm telling you, a vampire, man. Well,
that's fucking Man-Bat's not a goddamn vampire, Scarpad. Stop embarrassing. You're embarrassing us, man.
Oh, come on.
Come on, it used to be a comic book channel, man. Like, get your shit
I tell you what, Scarpad.
If he's a vampire, he should at least be able to get off the ground.
Scarpad, I'll tell you this, man. You get some fucking wings. You try to fly across New England. Let me know how tired your ass gets.
I know, man. His little wings, man.
Short distance only. The plane looked dope though. Like it did look fire as hell with the black and red.
All black. And then
now, do you guys think
dirt and worms coming out from underneath?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you guys think the cape was too much?
No.
I like it because it's classical.
Right. They did a lot of classic vampire stuff with the dirt under there, and they stuck to the rules. You can't see him in the mirror. That's even my fiance pointed out.
And then he does turn into a dog though.
Was that him? Is that what that was?
I don't think that was him. I think that's he's out in the daytime and shit, man.
I think he was maybe controlling that dog or something. But what did they give that dog to make him make that face? That dog looked freaky, dude. Like with his mouth all open, like he was about to gag something up. He looked.
I bet it was.
You can become the dog. You can become
it's Cujo. It's Cujo. That's what it is. That dog gets fucking taken by the pound and sent to Castle Rock, and then we get Cujo. That's what happens.
I just saw a YouTube video of a dog at a vet throwing up a woman's pink dildo, and I thought that's what was about to happen. Like, that's neither here nor there.
Vern, my man. So, last but definitely not least, what did you think of this movie?
I mean, I'm along the same lines as all you guys. It's one of those. If you tell me old school '90s Stephen King, I'm like, oh boy, I hope this is gonna be good because I remember like loving him, like almost everybody I know, like got into Stephen King, his books, his movies in high school, like or in the '90s, and most of the adaptations I thought were pretty bad. I didn't really remember this one, so I wasn't stoked about it. But I was very surprised with how much I enjoyed the film. Like you guys said, I think it's a little slow, but not too slow. Like there's nothing I would have taken out of the film. I think it ends when it needs to end. The special effects, you guys all said it. I was really surprised by how good they were. Like there was some of them that I rewound. I'm like, how the fuck did they do that?
Even
when
me,
the guy's
like,
got his head tilted back.
A bunch. And
right.
I was like, damn.
I will say this though, like you guys know, I usually watch these movies twice, and I watched this one, and it's a really, really simple story, right? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like Decorum from Jonathan Hickman. It's very simple,
but it's told in a simple way.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what I was thinking. Told in a simple way, and it is simple. And I was like, I don't really feel like I need to watch this one twice. And I had like 3 hours to kill after work before we got on, so I watched it again.
Yeah,
and for me, I'm always surprised by certain movies about how I could enjoy them 2 days in a row. This one, I kind of didn't. You know what I mean? It's not to take too much away from the film, but it is so simple that it wasn't like I was riveted by it the second time around. I felt like I was going through the motions. Now, that doesn't take away from, if you haven't seen it, throw it on and enjoy the hell out of it, because I definitely did. But it's not a very complex, deep, layered story like some other Stephen King works or some other great horror movies. So, yeah, definitely had a lot of fun with it, as we're known for saying over here. But I definitely enjoyed it, man. It's one to watch.
It's the one I guess you gotta wait to watch again.
Right. I would say it's an every 5 year. Like for me, because you want to forget. Because there's not like you're gonna watch it again and pick up all these things that you missed. Like, oh, they were feeding you this little bit of the mystery that I missed the first time. It's not really like that. It's a mystery, but it's not like a brilliant mystery.
You might just pick up a couple of things.
Well, and it's based on a short story, right? So there's not much there to begin with. And it's kind of like
Dreams and Nightmares book, I believe.
Yeah, it is. And Vern, you weren't here on the Black Phone night, but like I was talking about that with Black Phone. Like to me, it's difficult to add stuff into a short story to make it feature length. And with Black Phone, what they added didn't work for me, but here it does work.
I couldn't imagine it not having what I didn't know that's what they added, the female character and the ending. They would never. You're right. Like they nailed it with what they added for sure. Because I thought she was pretty good, but then again, she's just. I like that kind of face. Like she's got that girl next door, really cute, not overly sexy, but more cute, and I enjoy that.
Short hair, short hair.
You see her, somebody like her in a movie. You're like, that's somebody I could probably bag.
Right. That's attainable.
Like that's attainable.
Vern, you were waiting for the diving board scene in the movie, and this
right. Yeah. I really thought it was her. They look a lot alike, her and Phoebe Cates.
She looks like how she looked in, remember that movie Drop Dead Fred?
Mm-hmm.
Phoebe Cates was in that.
Yes.
She looks exactly like she did in that movie.
100%. One of my favorites as a youngster.
So whoa. Shit. I'm trying to think. What do you guys think of the music? Robbie, start it off, my man.
I really like the music. The music's done by Brian Keene, who is called the John Williams of the documentary, right? Like, no lie, he has so many awards. He's been nominated for an Academy. What's that?
There's a documentary.
This isn't. What are you?
No, documentaries in general. Like he's the John Williams of documentaries.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he does a lot of scoring and composing for documentaries, including Ken Burns' New York. Do You Believe in Miracles, which is about the 1988 Olympic team, The Battle Over Citizen Kane, which is a documentary I love. I loved the music. Like I mentioned earlier, it gave me vibes of like Twin Peaks because it's like, I think with the budget of this film, I think it's all synthesized. At least it's what it sounds like to me. Like on those string notes, like Twin Peaks, for instance, has a synth string that does this na, 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 na. Just holding out these tones, right? Now, maybe it is a real, like he's got a small orchestra or something, but the score to me sounds like it's like synthesized strings and like played on a synthesizer, but it's like, it's awesome. Like I love the music in this movie. I could not find it isolated, which really pissed me off, but I love it. I love it because it accentuates mood without trying to be flashy and stand out. It doesn't have a recognizable theme or anything like that, but it does work in that quirky 90s Twin Peaks-esque type way, at least for me. So
nice. What
about you, Scarpad? What'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, it was the same era as Twin Peaks, so it makes a pretty good sense that the music sounds pretty similar. It didn't, it didn't get in the way of the movie, and it certainly stands out somewhat by just kind of like being in the background, but not being something that's distracting your interest away from the movie. Sometimes in those 80s and 90s flicks, the music gets kind of distracting with it trying to draw your attention away from the movie, but also try to make you feel something. That's one thing I like about a lot of horror movie soundtracks is in the soundtrack, it's trying to set up the jump scare and it's trying to set up how you're supposed to feel. I like the music to be kind of unobtrusive. Yeah, it can set a tone, but don't get in the way of the movie. And this certainly didn't. It was well done.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Malignant got that. James Wan got the idea from Malignant from The Dark Half.
I'll say for the music, I definitely enjoyed it. It was really good. The thing, because I went on a hardcore kick this week watching a bunch of Italian horror movies. Thank you, Robbie, for the Rex. And I noticed like there's a lot of moments. Specifically, I watched Deep Red, and there's no dialogue, and that's when the music it better be fucking good. And there was a handful of moments that it really stuck out for me in this movie, specifically with the old woman who I thought was pretty great in the movie, where she's watching her husband get married, and she's like in a trance, and the music really sold
that gets her hair done.
Yeah. It sold that whole thing because there's like a good few minutes at least where there's no dialogue, but the music and her performance make the whole thing work. So I thought it was good. It didn't super stand out to me, but I thought it was definitely what I noticed. I dug.
Yeah, especially for what you think is like a TV movie.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Do you want to go into the cinematography, Robbie, and story and pacing? I know we kind of touched on it.
Yeah, we can do that. Then after that, if you want to get into characters, because it seems like we can get into characters after that. But as far as the cinematography, I think it's shot pretty well for its budget. It's got to have a low budget, right? Do we have a listed budget?
$40 million, I believe.
Get out of here.
I don't see a listed budget, but it only made $125K.
Oh no!
When it hit theaters,
yeah, no, man. Yeah, I have no budget.
40,000, maybe.
40,000.
Yeah, maybe 400,000. But I'm pretty sure they lost money on this. But who knows what the HBO deal was, right? I'm sure they got a good sum from that. But anyway, I think it's shot very well. They have to do a lot of night scenes, and that's hard to do. And I've heard I know you guys talked about Nope earlier this week, but I hadn't seen it yet. Now I've seen it. I don't know. Nope has been praised for its nighttime scenes, but at least in my theater, I was having trouble seeing clearly some shit, right? And in this one, you didn't have trouble seeing things at night, but it didn't look like it was just filmed during the day with the filter. So I liked the cinematography. I liked the pacing of this really well. I think it was a really good adaptation of a short story. This is how you do it. You add a character, you add some conflict with the other reporter, and also tie that into the ending. And now the ending is even more resonating with its thematic stuff, right? So I really liked the story. I really liked the improvements, I think, on the story in the adaptation. I really like the cinematography, and I think the special effects are fucking top notch. And I was actually surprised because at first I thought this was like a network TV movie, and I forgot that it's rated R. So when that dude's head fucking flies back or whatever, like a Pez dispenser or some shit, I was like, ah! I was like, I forgot something like that was even going to happen. And the vampire, the big, the money shot at the end there was really, really fucking cool. Even the mirrors breaking, that's all practical.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so they got to have something pulling on this mirror behind there, and it's cracking, but it works. It works really well. So I thought all that stuff was done.
The mirror breaking, but the pissing in the toilet, that really stood out to me as
you didn't
just
get
a really nice touch.
No stream, just as soon as it hits and he's pissing blood, I'm like, bruh, you need to get that checked out, man.
Right.
Scarpio, what'd you think?
And by the way, I'm sorry, but if we can see his piss as it's exiting his body, why can't we see it when it's inside of him?
Right.
I don't like.
It's a good point. I don't think I want to.
It was red with just the right amount of yellow tint to it.
Yeah, a little brown in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I said the cinematography done really well, especially all that stuff at night, especially at the end with the black and white scene, and the story, because the story really, it's the story of a blood sucking reporter that meets a blood sucking vampire, and remember that whole thing that he tells her it's it's not the story you published, it's not what you believe, it's not a story you believe, but some publishing.
He's like, never publish what you believe, and never believe what you publish.
Right?
Yeah,
and that whole runs through the whole thing because basically, it shifts over and she becomes him in the end. Creating the story of his death and setting him up to be the killer. She becomes him. So that could have been an interesting story where she has to go to pay the price for that in the next section. It's too bad Stephen King didn't write it, even if he wasn't going to create a movie about it. But the story was good enough. That was really good. The cinematography, the music, the special effects, top notch, and the acting. So yeah, I mean, this is a winner all around for me. I really enjoyed it. Good movie.
Thanks to you guys. Vern, what'd you think, my man?
As far you guys touched on a bunch of the cinematography stuff, it wasn't like over the top, like, oh wow, there wasn't too many shots that were blowing my mind. And like I said, I've been in Dario Argento land for the whole week. So from going to that to this, it did feel like a made for TV movie. And that has a lot to do with
no busted eyeballs.
With the budget. Yeah, it didn't have that. But it was good. It was competent. There wasn't anything cheesy about it for sure. As far as the story, I really did get into the story between the two reporters and her trying to be on the rise, him kind of past his prime, trying to hold her down. The way there wasn't many characters, but the way that they tied it in with the boss, kind of between the two of them, I thought the story worked really well. And there wasn't much of a mystery, but what they had, I was intrigued the whole time. There wasn't anything like mind-blowing about the story or any aspect of the movie. Nothing was mind-blowing, but everything was really good. You know what I mean? That's pretty much across the board for everything other than the special effects and Ferrera's performance. Everything was really good. Nothing other than those two things were top-notch, I would say.
Yeah, I love how you mentioned the context of the films you were watching. Like, you're watching all this giallo and Italian horror from Argento and others, and you fit Night Flier in.
Right.
I have come off of these zombie fucking movies, Golden Child, which was disappointing, Buddha's Fist, which was disappointing, and I watched Night Flier, and I was like, holy shit.
Right.
I was like, oh man, finally. I have a movie above a 2.
Right. I'd say we do a favorite character, but obviously it's going to be Miguel Ferreira and Dwight Renfield.
Nah, man, I got a backup, man. We all, all the panelists always have a backup, man.
All right, let's hear it.
Well, my dude is the most Stephen King fucking dude possible. It's the fucking first dude he talks to.
Yeah.
And he's all like, he says some shit like, the inside was redder than a fire engine's inside, and black as a woodchuck's asshole and shit like that. Like,
yeah.
And he's like got that very thick Maine
he's
accent.
Got that northeastern accent.
I thought it was goddamn. It almost felt like that could have been Herman Munster from fucking Pet Sematary.
Yeah,
dead is dead, and all that shit, right? Like I love that character because I
love that accent.
Yeah, because that dude is 100% like a Stephen King fucking character. He's in every goddamn movie,
right?
Just with a different name. I think his name was Earl, which even makes it better. But I love
Stephen King's neighbor or something. Scarpet, what do you think?
Yeah, it's gonna be Miguel Ferreira because without him, there is no movie. And the man blew coke off titties of hookers, and that's good enough for me.
And RoboCop.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but imagine if this movie was actually, what if Miggy dies in the first act of this film? Earl has to step in. He saves the fucking day while doing coke off of fucking titties.
Vern, who are you thinking, boss?
I kind of mentioned him, but the boss. I thought the boss was the perfect. I don't know what else I know him from.
He's so good.
His name's
no one else
Dan.
Him besides me and you.
Yeah, Monahan. I'm trying to think of what else I know him from. But
it kind of reminds me of like a Weasley Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah, he's like 2 lines away from being likable. He's like, well, what do you think of the new girl? How about that ass?
Nice. God, I hope he kills more people.
Right. But he leads into it like, she's got a great head on her shoulders. She's a go-getter. You're like, oh, okay. This guy's progressive. How about that ass, though? It's like, oh, you blew it. But he was good, man. He was likable. He was funny. And he was having a lot of fun. The character was having fun.
You mentioned ass. And look what happened. Look at the chat.
That's funny. But no, he was good, man. I definitely enjoyed him. And the guy that Robbie mentioned. Robbie, if you didn't mention that dude, I was definitely going with him because he did stand out as just a character.
Yeah. And he just takes the picture of the dude, and the dude's like, "What the fuck, bro?"
Right. He did that quite a bit. Then I kept thinking, like, why do people don't need to look? That's what my fiance is always doing with the animals. Look at me. It's like you don't need to be looking at the camera for every picture. It would be just as effective.
In fact, some of the best pictures, people are not looking at the camera. Yeah,
candid. Exactly. And then I'll just throw in there too the old woman. I don't know if you were going to go that route, Dylan, but she is really good in the movie. I like that they show her transformation. Like she gets her hair all did, and the way she's in that trance dream, like she was phenomenal.
We got to go see him, Earl.
Right.
Yeah, in a way, this movie, this movie and things like Kolchak probably couldn't operate. It wouldn't operate the same or be the same now in 2023. 22, whatever year we're in, I don't know what year. Because the whole thing has changed. I mean, Kolchak had the look of the reporter. He had that big ass camera. He got the micro cassette recorder sticking in everybody's face. This guy had almost the same exact thing. He had that tape recorder thing, and he had the thing. So, but that shit won't work now. Obviously, there is no newspapers anymore. So it would be tough to do this movie now. It would be a different movie. It really would be.
Yeah. Flier pretty much does a podcast with that old pilot. They sit together and they do a podcast.
What up, Twitter? Yeah, man. I love Miguel Ferreira. I think the guy who plays Dwight Renfield does a great job for what he's given. And I think everybody you guys said was great. Honestly, I couldn't say that there's anybody bad in this movie. I think everybody does great. I love, the first guy interviews. I love the Jimmy Olsen chick. I love the guy that runs the paper. I love everyone. I feel like everybody in the movie is nobody's wasted. They're all used perfectly.
One thing about the script is it does kind of treat its audience like they're idiots because it does explain the Dwight Fry reference and Renfield reference. It explains the Jimmy Olsen reference. Like, come on, we get it. Like,
what's the Dwight reference you said?
The character's name is Dwight Renfield. So Renfield is in the Bela Lugosi Dracula is played by Dwight Fry.
Okay.
They explain that. I don't know why I'm having to explain it again to you, Dylan.
See, it would be worthwhile.
I didn't hear what you said.
I'm messing with you, Dylan. Calm down. What was the main character's name again? Richard what?
These nuts.
These.
Yeah,
man. I think everyone does great.
It would be good homework. Everybody go back. It's on YouTube. Watch The Night Stalker with Darren McGavin as Kolchak. He goes up against a vampire, and look at the similar beats to this movie.
It's a film, not a TV show.
The Night Stalker was a movie of the week that set up the
they did two
Night
movies.
Stalker, Night Stalker, and then they did a series. The movies are far superior to the series. The series is good. Movies are better. It was written by I think Robert Bloch.
But the movies came out first.
Movies came out first, and The Night Stalker is one of the best vampire movies. And if you watch that, you'll see a lot of this movie in that movie.
Yeah, I want to get those Kino releases for it.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
The dad of the Christmas Story.
Yes,
he plays Kolchak. Well, I'm telling Brent.
Kolchak.
Obviously Scarfhead. The guy, the dad who played the father.
The guy who played the father in the Christmas Story.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's Kolchak, and he's.
And it's like a reporter, kind of like a goofy guy, and he's like tracking down aliens, all these monsters.
But in the premiere, it's a vampire he's going up against, and it is a really good. It's a legitimately scary TV movie. It was Robert Bloch wrote it, I believe, and Dan Curtis, who did Dark Shadows, directed it, and it was really good.
For sure.
And there's a lot of this movie in this.
I thought this movie had more. It got pretty creepy at times. It was like almost no jump scares, but atmospherically, it definitely had a pretty creepy tone. For
the era, I think the gore was pretty heightened for the era.
Yeah.
What do you guys think this movie's trying to say? And then we'll get into the rating. So I got some showing.
It's trying to say basically the press is evil.
Right. That's a big part.
Yeah, the
fake
whole,
news.
The
news are fake.
News to get, they'll do anything to get a story. They're bloodsuckers like the vampire's bloodsucker.
there's definitely
the
some
reporters are the bloodsuckers.
Right.
There's some misogyny.
The vampire guy says that, you like me, you are me.
Right. It's got the fake news element. It's got the hashtag Me Too element about this woman trying to come into an industry dominated by men. She's not getting taken seriously, which you could. I mean, I'm sure you could put a young reporter in that, a young male reporter in that situation, and it might play the same way. But with the way that they set it up with the boss talking about her ass, there's a little bit of that misogyny role, and then there's also having to earn your dues, I guess you could say. Like when a lot of people are going to come into an industry and there's going to be someone that's already in the spot that you want to take, and they're going to fight you you're going to have to fight to get in to that situation, or that's his spot or their spot.
Yeah,
Mr. Billups.
Yes.
What do you think the movie's trying to say?
Oh, it's pretty obvious. It's about the vampiric nature of the media, right? It's right there. There's a parallel made between Dick D's and the vampire, right? Like there's a parallel there, and he even says like we are of the same blood, right? And he does this whole bit. So the idea of the parasitic nature of the media, like he goes to these crime scenes, he's like knocking over gravestones and smearing them with blood so we can get a better, more sensational picture, and the sensationalist nature of where media has gone. And what's crazy is that this movie could be even more relevant today if it was redone, because it's not just the tabloid media that's like that anymore. It's all fucking media. It's all about just like voyeurism and sadistic, just watching terrible shit happen to other people, so that like there's something seedy about it, right? And then the passing of that curse, right? The passing of the curse to the new cub reporter, right? The Jimmy, right? That chick, right? So her kind of taking over, and actually at the end of the film, like taking a picture of his dead body, and so it's the just desserts is thrown in there as well, right? So you have the just desserts trope, you got the sensationalist media being portrayed as vampires, and that being kind of juxtapositioned against each other. So that's what I think it's about. It's mostly about the scum of the media doing what they can to get their sensationalist headlines, and how full of themselves they can get, and how they pass that on to people they pass that on. They pass that along to the people that think of them as great writers, right, when in fact let me ask you a question. They're just exploiting things, right?
What does everybody think about the ending of the film and Deez's turn? He almost goes through a Jack Nicholson Shining turn,
moment,
because he was going to go ahead and he was going to kill her, and he was probably going to kill all the cops with the axe he had in his hand. Right. So do you feel that?
Yeah,
that
but he
turn,
didn't know he was killing him.
Do you think that turn was warranted? Yeah, he probably saw him as
How do you think that happened? Because I was trying to figure out, was it that he made him drink the blood, and then right. he kind of mesmerized him in a way with his blood. Is that what you guys think?
He winds up he winds up going into this trance, right? And so then I'm seeing him. He's going through this vision, and he's seeing all the people that he's like exploited. Those aren't the victims of
those are the people, his victims.
It's his victims, right? And he sees them, and he's like, I'm tired of seeing this. I don't want this. And he like goes crazy, but it's happening in real life. But everybody there's already dead, right? So he didn't kill those people, but he hacked them up,
right,
in this fucking frenzied state that he's in. And so then when the cops show the fuck up, like, there you go. Right. And in the movie, I mean, in the short story, he confronts the vampire, and the vampire just leaves, and he walks away, and he just stares at him as he walks away. And then the police arrive. But this adds more impact to the theme for me, because it adds in the just desserts thing, and that's one of the reasons why I think it's a good issue of like Tales from the Crypt or Vault of Horror or something like that, right? Because so many of those stories are just desserts, where somebody does something bad and shady, they get away with it for a long time, then all of a sudden the same shit happens to them.
He was a huge fan of, Vault of Horror.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Obviously the creator of freaking Creepshow, Romero. So Definitely can see that.
I was wondering, and I don't know if it would have actually fit for this story, but you guys can tell me what you'd think if they had left it a little bit more ambiguous, whether, because for a minute there I was thinking like, oh shit, has he been the Night Flyer all along? You know what I mean? But they make it really clear that he's not. There was a vampire. And like I said, it might not have fit for this story, but what do you think if they would have if they never showed Jimmy seeing the vampire and they could have kind of left it where
she has to know, because then that's how she learns from him. Right. That's how she becomes him, because she's like, you're right. She makes up the narrative.
Right. She doesn't print what she believes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
And that is like, I just want everybody to know real quick. That's how the media fucking works. Don't trust any of them.
For real though.
It's all tabloids now. Yeah. Richard D's nuts is writing every single one of these things.
Nice.
All right.
Nice thoughts, man. Nice thoughts. You guys want to jump into this rating?
Let's do it.
Anyone in the chat who was able to catch the Night Flyer on YouTube this past week, throw your rating down below. What up, Kevin? Vern, you want to start us off, my brother?
Certainly. This is a weird one. I think I say this all the time. I have to like put out of my head that I gave Nope a 3 because we're just talking about two different things. Like I can't really compare Nope a 3 because what's the better film? You know what I mean? I don't know. I have to watch that one again. But I will say my score isn't going to match how much I enjoyed the film the first time. I'm going to give it a 3.5. I think that's fair. I think it's a good movie. It's a good watch. It's a fun, enjoyable watch. I'm glad I watched it again. Yeah, but it's not one of the best movies I've seen this year. It's not one of the best vampire tales out there. It's one of the better 90s Stephen King adaptations for sure. But I think 3.5 for me is a solid score and for a movie that I definitely enjoyed watching.
Definitely. I mean, it's got like a 6 on IMDb, so it doesn't. And then the freaking Metascore is like 36, but it doesn't have that many ratings.
I was gonna say, the Rotten Tomatoes is 33%, but that's on 6 reviews. That means nothing.
Exactly. It's not. It's still, like I said, it's like a hidden film that nobody knows about, and that's why I was glad you guys are here to review it with me, man. I do appreciate it, and I'm glad you guys at least enjoyed it. You know, right. And maybe it's not gonna be one you're gonna watch every Halloween, but you throw that in your fucking thing every 5 years. Hey, I'm cool with that. Scarpad, what do you think? 3.5 from Brian.
His 3.5 is good. I would say I would give it a 3.75. And the reason why I'm doing that is I think I'm going to match his 3.5 and just bump it 0.25 for being one of the better Stephen King adaptions in a sea of really crappy 90s and 80s adaptions of Stephen King movies. There was some real stinkers there. So I'm going to give it a 3.75.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Robbie, my man.
The movie is made by Miggy's performance. I like the music. I like the theme. I love the special effects. Some of the stuff around it falters. Feels like a made-for-TV movie, even though I know it wasn't made for TV. Even though it was made for TV. I mean, it seemed... Anyway, even though it debuted on TV, it wasn't made for TV, but it feels like it was made for TV. So, looking at it, all in all, I'm going to give it a 3. I think a 3 out of 5 is incredibly solid. If you put that on a 10-point scale, that's a 6. And it's all on the performance of the main character. No likable characters in this movie. Nobody to really like relate to or anything like that. But that's okay, because as long as a character is interesting, doesn't necessarily have to be likable. I think I stole that from some YouTube video that I watched earlier today. But I'll give it a 3. It's really solid. It's way better than many of those 90s Stephen King adaptations like you all were talking about. And do not even get me on a show talking about Tommy knockers, because that's some bullshit. Right. But I'll give it a 3. I think it's solid. It's nice. Something like Vern nailed it when he said every 5 years. Right. Maybe every 7.5 to 10 years.
Yeah, Eugene, we do 1 to 5. We do 1 to 5. here.
I will just interject and I'll say I think Jimmy is likable. She's pretty likable. She's charming, and she's the one that you're supposed to be kind of rooting for. But then I guess at the end, she follows the route of Miguel's character.
They could have developed that a little bit further,
Right.
and they could have like weaved her better into the story. Like I like the addition of that character, but it didn't quite get there. But
she didn't really have enough screen time.
And the script writer, whoever wrote the screenplay, they don't think the audience is smart. Like, and that's something that kind of knocks it down a little bit.
They're right when it comes to most people, though. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, but I think you should always. I don't know.
I get it.
Yeah, never insult the intelligence of your audience, because a lot of them, we are smarter. Come on, the four of us. Come on, Anyway, but yeah, three's good. Like 3's solid. I think because we do this rating out of 5 thing here in PCP. So many people think that anything below a 4 is like bad,
right?
But it's not. Like a 3 is good.
Yeah, that's 6 out of 10.
I always say it's solid 7. Like when I'm rating a movie with my buddy, 1 to 10, 7 is most good movies are a 7. So if you're around there, a 3.5, 6, 3.5.
Yeah, that could be movies get 9 to 10.
You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for it. 3.69.
Oh, shit.
Get him. We got
a blowing, cocaine loving Miguel Ferreira. Thanks.
We got a 3.0 from Two Gun. We got a 3.75/85 from Eugene, and we got a 3.25 from Gary.
Just gotta say, if you're snorting cocaine off a titty, remember to snort before you motorboat. Yeah, never the reverse. You're gonna lose your cocaine.
I truly hope that the Salem's Lot from James Wan is epic. I think he's writing and producing. I think Doberman's directing, I want to say. And Garcia did a 3.5. So I'd say we got an average score of 3.69. I don't know. Probably 3.3.
I don't know how you do this, Dylan, every week without a calculator, man. You astound me.
What if Vern gave it a 3.5? It's probably like Robbie gave it a 3, man. So a 3.69 might be.
Yeah.
You might have nailed it.
Sorry to bring it down,
No,
Dylan, there is a calculator on your phone, man.
That's what I'm looking for, a calculator right now. I'm really curious.
It's funner to do it off my head.
That's ridiculous.
Just off the dome. Just making. I'm not being serious. I'm just making.
iPads don't have calculators on them. Are you shitting?
iPads don't have calculators.
Pretty sure I've looked before.
Go to the search bar, type calculator.
That concludes the show. Next week, before anyone gets out of here, next week we'll be doing our full moon double feature on
Baby Oopsie.
Oopsie Poopsie.
No.
Oh my God! Well, we blew that Baby Oopsie.
We'll be doing the first Puppet Master, which is what everyone picked.
I hope I get mine in the mail.
And then Robbie picked Sorority Babes in the Slime Bowl.
Oh yeah, baby! Is there any blowing cocaine off titties in that movie?
No, but there's some titties in it. It's got Linnea Quigley in it, my man. I don't think we see her titties though in that film. It's one of those rare movies where you don't.
Are we doing a double feature, or is the Sorority Babes on?
It's a double feature.
All right.
Nice.
Full moon
by the way, I did the official calculation. We got 3.4225 is the average. 69.
Oh, I was gonna say a 3.5, but yeah, both these movies are 80 minutes. Then some full moons are even like Creepazoids is like 60 minutes.
Yeah, it's real easy to get through these films, but trust me, both of these films are actually enjoyable. It's just like the ones that we did before.
This
like
is a classic,
Sorority Babes to me is better than Creepazoids. Like Creepazoids is fun and it's okay, but like Sorority Babes is going to surprise some of y'all if you've never seen it. I think.
Wasn't Creepazoid like an 80s song?
Yeah, Garcia, we did review Better Watch Out. You could go check it in my videos. We reviewed.
Yeah, a lot of the films Garcia's brought up tonight, we have already done. So definitely check out that backlog.
Check out the backlog, no doubt.
Sorority Babes is free on the Roku channel, Pluto, and Tubi. Just throwing that out there.
Anything we haven't reviewed, we'll review it maybe a little quicker if you send us a copy of it. But who's got show and tell tonight?
I do, and we did Dolls as well, Garcia. So
we did do Dolls. We did a whole thing on Stuart Gordon. So if you're a Gordon,
you haven't done Baby Oopsie yet. He's a Baby Oopsie.
It's true.
Freaking you're Baby Oopsie, man.
Scarp has like that person that shows up to like a public speaking. He's like, hello, is this on?
I just don't know what to do with my hands.
You gotta do some Baby Oopsie.
I'll just throw out there, Puppet Master, also on Tubi. So
nice.
if you got the Tubi, check it out.
And dude, I highly recommend, like, if you sign up for a full year, a full moon, you can either get a 12-disc Puppet Master box set with it and the full year, or you can pick 10 Blu-rays. So you get the choice of a 12-disc box set for $60 and a full year subscription, or the 10 Blu-rays.
Mine's in the mail, Dylan. Mine's in the mail.
Let me play the part again of the guy that doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. What is Full Moon?
Full Moon. It's basically it's kind of like a B
production
horror
company. Yeah.
Well, it's a film company.
What do you sign up for? What do you mean?
It's a streaming. Full Moon has your own streaming service.
Okay.
They do, it's
like $5 a month, but you get like a year for
you don't have to get that close.
Yeah,
to the
you're getting muffled, Scarphead. You're getting muffled.
I know.
It's $60 a year, and you get the freebies, or $5 a month.
And it's got a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of cool movies on there. You get the entire Evil Bong series. That's worth it a lot.
Not only that, you get the old something weird videos, things from the 60s, like Blood Feast, Herschel Gordon Lewis. A lot of good stuff like that. So
they used to have like erotic movies, like erotic thrillers, and then they fucking made their own goddamn service for that, and it kind of pissed me off. So I did sign up for that for a little bit, but they're fun.
It's worth the money. If you get like Shudder and Full Moon, you're pretty covered with crappy movies.
You could have a little naked guy running around my house with $100 bill.
Say what?
Does it have to be a guy?
Dude, I gotta pick. I wanted to get some dinner.
Yeah, and Full Moon is Charles Band, who also had Empire Pictures. So a lot of Empire Pictures stuff is on Full Moon, like Dolls and Pit and the Pendulum. I think is on Full Moon. Last time I checked. So
Charles Band is like a legend in the B horror community. He fucking directed. He
produced
so many movies. He's produced like hundreds of
Reanimator.
Movies.
Which is one of the greatest. So,
dude, he's a legend, straight up. And now he has a podcast where he interviews a bunch of people, and they put the podcast on Full Moon. And like his first episode, he interviewed John Carpenter.
Oh, nice.
So that's really cool to see.
Yeah, I was watching some of the stuff on there, and they got these old specials from I think probably the 90s or 2010, where William Shatner hosted their like Christmas shows and stuff. They were off the wall, some of the stuff that was on there.
Yeah,
so it's pretty interesting.
Reviewing like Ooga Booga and shit. Who wants to go first for show and tell?
I'll go first.
All right,
sure. Since nobody will volunteer, I'll volunteer.
All
right, got the newest issue of Scream magazine, which has a nice feature on Fulci's Zombie.
Very nice.
Sick.
So that's cool. Always cool to have a new version of that. I picked up this Hellboy Artisan edition from Mike Mignola, which has the original artwork for Hellboy in Hell and a bunch of other stuff. It's got a bunch of early stuff at the end, so you're able to see that beautiful Mike Mignola artwork, the originals. Like, that's super freaking cool. Mike Mignola is one of my favorite comic book artists of all time. He's my number 2 of all time, actually, right behind Jack Kirby. But look at that. Seeing it in black and white, oh my goodness, it's beautiful. And it's not just black and white. Like when you see it in person, this is scans of the original artwork. So you get all the marks and everything in there. And it's absolutely gorgeous and incredibly well done. And they're back, y'all. They're back. The monster cereals are back. We spotted them in a while. I got them. If you go to Sam's, you can get this ultra pack here. So I'm going to pull out these boxes. They got new box art for this year, which is interesting. They all have X's in their eyes for some reason, which is weird. But they got Count Chocula, which is the goat of the monster cereals. Let's be honest.
I heard.
I like Blueberry.
I heard the new ones coming. The old school ones coming back. The eyes are cool like that.
I love Blueberry.
Yeah, this is weird. Blueberry's great.
Oh, I love.
It was the first, by the way, trivia. First blueberry cereal. Then we got Frankenberry. By the way, if you mix these two together, it's fucking delicious.
I just love it. I walk away to go grab something. I just love coming back and seeing Robbie with fucking cereal boxes. It's
but
like,
here's
the Robbiest thing ever.
Here's the big fucking deal, y'all. It's back. Fruit Brute is fucking back this year.
Yes.
I never heard of
Dude, I've always wanted to try it.
Fruit Brute originally came out in the 70s. It was a fruit-flavored monster cereal. It followed Blueberry. It got discontinued. They brought it back a few years ago as a cherry-flavored cereal, and it's back in that form. So you notice it's a cherry-flavored now. It's not just... It used to be generic fruit. Think Trix, Fruity Pebbles, shit like that.
Really?
But now it's this. So we got...
You tried it?
This version. I've never had the original,
we never had Fruit Brute.
I've never had it. Period. I didn't know that there was like a original.
Fruit Brute was original. One. So everybody knows Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and Blueberry. Yeah. But there were two other monsters. There's Fruit Brute, first introduced in the 70s, and then Fruity Yummy Mummy, which is an orange cream-based cereal. So they had that out.
I didn't even know that.
I think I vaguely remember the Mummy.
A few years ago, that one came out in like 87. So I remember that one. So a few years ago, they put all 5 out, right? And then last year they did the mashup, but it was just a fruit. It was just it was actually just a mix of Frankenberry and Blueberry. But we got Fruit Brute back. This is not its original form, but it is in the form that it was in back in there. I just love put all 5 of them out every year.
Yeah.
I mean,
they need to do Yummy Mummy.
Yeah. And bring back the original formula. Let's put some oats back in this shit so it tastes better. Come on now.
Now, do you eat those?
Is that everything, Rob?
Display them.
I eat them. I bought 2 of these. So I bought 2 of these. So I got 2 of each box. What I'll do is I'll pick up more as they become more available. I will eat them throughout the season, and then I always save boxes of each to eat like next summer, because cereal lasts a long time if you don't open it, right? Yeah. So I always save a box of Count Chocula to eat on my birthday because it's one of the greatest cereals of all time. So there you go.
I love it.
You eat a whole box on your birthday?
No, I don't eat a whole box on my birthday. I save a box so I can have a bowl on my birthday. And I eat it with chocolate milk too. So there you go.
Nice.
And you have nice teeth for eating cereal.
Mm-hmm. Did you have anything else?
Not really. No, that's it.
Okay. Vern, Scarpad, anyone?
I grabbed a couple things. Let Scarpad fire it off.
No, you can go ahead, Vern.
Sure. All right. I don't know. I don't think I've showed. I'm like turning around, like figuring out what have I showed you guys.
See this before.
Dun, da, da, da.
But he's a badass.
He's a big badass. Oh, I feel like I did. I might have showed this on.
Is that a Sideshow?
Live. This is it's a hot toy distributed by Sideshow. And what?
But that's a statue, though, right? That's not a toy.
See, what's his arm pieces, right?
It articulates.
Can you move his arms?
Okay, this is the deluxe version, which comes. This whole part right here is a separate like piece that you can put on. It also comes with another section that you can move its arms, but like when you move them down, it shows some pretty major like gappage there. So this is how I've always had it displayed, like that. So it's got a little bulge there.
He's got quite a package.
So that's my biggest, I believe that's my biggest hot toy. And then this.
That's what she said.
Ayo, this is my littlest.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hot toy. If I can get
hope that didn't cost you fucking $130.
I actually got this
$700 for that.
This one. I think this was a gift from my fiance's, my brother-in-law, and it was I think it was like $50 or $60. I don't know if you noticed the wasp.
Are you fucking serious, brother?
Yeah. But it's very detailed. And it
looks like a Hero Clicks, man. That was $50 fucking dollars.
Yeah,
the hook was $1,600.
So cool.
And then
you'd be the coolest dude at the D&D table with that shit. Oh, look at that!
Ed.
Oh yeah.
Ed 209. up
No,
in
who
this
made
bitch.
that? Is that Sideshow?
This is just a
No,
little
I saw
cheapy.
those coming out. Yeah, I saw those
I
coming
think
out.
I got this when like our Sam Goody was going under. I got it for like $15.
I think NECA is coming out with that though. NECA is coming out.
I'm not sure what it is.
Somebody
to be honest
just
with
released.
you, what brand,
we got it at the shop. Somebody just released a set of RoboCop and Ed 209, and it was like in this weird package that looks like a fucking like one of those big like finale firework things that you get that's in a big cylinder. You know? Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
All right. Well, I showed some of these off this week with Dylan in a live, but these are horror related, so I'll show them again. Family Opera, the new Mego variant. This is the variant edition where he has a little bit larger pea coat and the mask, of course.
Very nice.
The back art. And
Migos, they have clothing for all those, right?
Yes, they do. Yeah. This one I'm not too fond of. I was almost going to buy it, but I did. It's a Hunchback of Notre Dame. This is the Charles Lawton one. And this gives me a strong Disney vibe, actually, this one. So I'm not too fond of it.
The face.
That's how he's supposed to look. Didn't quite nail it, but it's okay. And then this one is kind of goofy, too. But this is the Grim Reaper. Hold on a second. Grim Reaper. His face is a little mushy.
Very cool.
He's supposed to look like this, and it just
my
don't
God,
look like that.
yeah. It's a big difference between the artwork. What's that from? Is that from a specific movie?
I think it's from a movie they didn't license and pay the money for, so they just called it the Grim Reaper.
It's really the art on that card looks awesome, bro.
Fuck yeah!
Like that art.
The art is amazing. That's why I'm gonna keep him in the card. I think.
Well, the art on the front is fucking phenomenal.
Are you sure that face didn't get melted a little bit?
No,
how long did it sit out there on the stoop, man? We've been going through it. Y'all up there in the Northeast have been in a heat bubble or a heat dome or whatever.
Well, here I think you notice the shroud, the hood. Maybe if you pull the hood up over his face a little bit better.
Right.
It'll look a little bit better.
Yeah,
but,
right. Yeah, it might thin it out a little bit.
Hey, but what do you want for $15? All right, so I picked up a few DVDs and Blu-rays. So I'll show those real quick. No, Pearl was coming out, so I picked up X.
Get that still. I keep forgetting.
And they did actually still have a slip cover for it, which is nice.
Nice.
The other thing I like about this studio, which is who did this? Lionsgate. The fact that they released their 4K versions much later than the.
There's no 4K for that.
No 4K, but it's a good movie, so I picked that up.
You really need to see a 4K of the silhouette of Kid Cudi's dick.
Just the Blu-ray.
This is the Blu-ray Steelbook of Doctor Strange 2.
Nice, dude.
And the Multiverse of Madness.
That's pretty sick looking.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't even see the Steelbook.
I'm having a hard time buying. I have every single Marvel movie on 4K. But the last few, they're on Disney Plus, so I have a hard time getting myself to buy them.
So I picked up season one.
It takes me a while, but then I want the slip with it. I gotta get an Endgame on 4K. I don't have that, and I need the slip with it.
This has all the first season episodes. I got second season coming.
Oh, nice.
Showing up yet?
Oh yeah, Glows in the Dark, brother. You should have led with that.
I had to pick up this movie because we lost one of the most phenomenal actors of our decades this last couple of weeks, David Warner. And this is arguably one of his best movies, Time After Time, where he plays Jack the Ripper to Robert, what's his face? Malcolm McDowell plays H.G. Wells, and he plays Jack the Ripper. They go through time. If you haven't seen this 1979 movie, it's worth seeing.
A fun fact, they made a song based on that. Cyndi Lauper recorded that. So.
And it's also directed, it's directed by Nicholas Meyer, who did Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. And then finally, our friend...
he also did Undiscovered Country, man. Why are you leaving that one out? Come on.
That's right. Friend Dylan told me there was a Criterion sale. Damn you, Dylan. So
you told me you knew about it.
So I had to pick up a couple of films here. This is Fiend Without a Face on DVD. Fiend Without a Face, 1957, one of the early British horror movies. And that creature that's on the guy's face is done in stop motion and done pretty well. The special effects in this movie is top notch. So if you haven't, it's available on streaming. So if you haven't seen it, Fiend Without a Face. A couple movies are really good, of course. Miller's Crossing.
I love that movie. I didn't know
the
there was a
Coen
Criterion.
Brothers.
I didn't know there was a Criterion. Oh my god! All I have is the fucking DVD copy.
Yeah, so
it's a really cool cover.
Available on Criterion now. Half price sale is going on till the end of the month. So
yeah, I got a couple coming, but man, I got to get. I didn't even know they did Miller's. I love that fucking movie, man.
And of course, if I'm going to buy that, then I can't not buy Blood Simple.
Oh, another one I only have on DVD.
Also on Criterion Blu-ray.
Oh, those are so good.
Either of those.
Oh, dude, they're so good. They're early. They're in
the best films.
They're in the era of like Raising Arizona, right? But it's before like Fargo and all that shit. But it's like some of their. I think Blood Simple might be their first film. But
it is their first film.
They are so fucking good.
And the only movie I don't have from them, I got one more thing. But the only movie I don't have from them that I'd like to get, I didn't like it when it came out, but Barton Fink, I'd like to get that one.
I love Barton Fink.
And then I've never seen this movie. Everybody tells me it's great. Repo Man on Criterion.
Is that the Emilio Estevez one?
That's the Emilio Estevez one.
That's a cool cover, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is a badass cover.
Yeah.
So
I've never seen that movie, man. I've never seen that movie actually.
And that's it.
All right.
That's great. Blood Simple and Miller's Crossing are both crime films, but they're so fucking good, y'all. Like, they are so
I think
good.
Miller's Crossing is probably one of the best mob movies.
I agree.
Around.
So, you got...
Was it Gabriel Byrnes in that one?
Yeah.
Stephen King's Night Flyer. Own it on physical, unlike any of you.
I won't buy it.
I actually love those. WB and New Line Cinema did those, like, kind of clamshelly DVD cases. I love those.
I like these.
A lot of times, a lot of those the discs
and then,
flippers, though.
like I said, next week's show, next Saturday, join us for our double feature our full moon double feature review on Puppet Master and Sorority Babes in the Slime Bowl-orama.
We should have just did all 12 of the Puppet Master.
And then this came today.
There you go.
Nice.
This came, it was like a double pack. Which this is actually, I guess, my girl signed up for like some Disney thing.
That covers better.
Now she has to buy like 3 titles before the year or something, because I think they gave her like 3 movies for like $1 a piece.
Really?
And but this is like a Disney membership exclusive cover.
She got the Disney Movie Club, man. I used to be a part of that.
That's cool.
I got fucked on that once too, man. And they were like 3 Blu-rays for like $3 or something. Or $1 or some shit, but you have to buy 3 movies at full price within the year.
It's that same shit that Columbia House and BMG used to do back in the 90s.
Dude, that was, I haven't thought about that in 20 years. I still owe them money.
I still have.
Yeah, I used to.
I tell you what, I don't owe them money, but Bobby Phillips owes them some money. I'll tell you that.
That's how I established my entire collection.
You remember how you used to tape you had to tape a penny?
Yeah.
You like when you send it off, you would tape a penny to the spot, and you would get all like 12 CDs for a penny or some shit.
Right.
Did this get a 4K?
Yes.
You just showed it off, man.
I
didn't know if that was 4K or Blu-ray, but yeah. So now I'm glad to definitely own the first one as well, and they both got slips, baby. So then I also
that's strange, but I've seen stranger things.
Oh, good one. I also got a package in from the homie. Where's he at?
I don't get the Putin reference from the latest porn bot.
Yeah, I don't know, dude, but this shit is getting me fucking pissed. Like
what's up, YouTube? Like every video I publish too. It's not just live. Like you publish video, you get all these porn bots that comment.
Bro, like I'm getting sick of it. So yeah, too, the homie,
you think YouTube is fun?
Long time, and one of the freaking day ones is on here for every show, always showing so much love.
Two Gun's so awesome. He sent me so many early wizards. It was amazing.
Awesome, A-OK. And one of these movies, because I know he sent me 2 movies. One of them will for sure be on this upcoming 2022's Horror Fest, and the other one might be. Maybe we'll review it before or after. It might make a cut for Horror Fest. We gotta see. I'm
dying to see this list.
I'm almost done with my list. I'm trying to figure the rest out.
Yeah, I need that really soon.
First one This is the one I'm still working on trying to fit in the Horror Fest list, or if it's going to be before Horror Fest to maybe kick it like the pre-game.
I've always wanted to see that, bro. I've always wanted to see that.
I've never seen it either. I know bits and pieces from it though. I know like the mask and everything.
What decade are we talking?
This I believe is 70s.
Yeah, I think it's 70s.
Looks it.
Two gun, if you know, throw it in 76.
Nice.
76. Yeah. So this is an Arrow release.
That's really nice.
Yeah, and Two Gun might have a little surprise for you, Robbie. I like that.
Well, don't spoil it.
I didn't spoil nothing. I just had a surprise.
Oh, nice.
And this is the one that is already on the Horror Fest list. Big Saska Sisters fan. Love this movie.
I've never even heard of that one. I don't think.
You never heard of this one? This one I know was on Shudder. I don't think they've taken it off yet. But this will be on. That's
still on Shudder.
Nice.
This will be on Horror Fest.
When the fuck does Two Guns horror show start? And how do I join it? Because Jesus, apparently he's got the one up on us, man.
Huh? What do you mean?
Just talking about he's the one. He's got good taste in horror films that we've never seen. Is all I'm saying.
This is a good ass movie, dude. Yeah, He's the one who sent me that Entity. So.
He's responsible for one of the greatest Dylan's horror show videos ever.
Well, why do you think I wanted him to send me something, man? I was like, bro, pick whatever, bro. And he was like, have you seen this? And I was like, I seen it and I love it, but I don't own it.
What if the key is every time
listen, and I'd never seen it.
What if every time Two Gun sends you a movie, it like becomes one of the biggest episodes of Dylan's Horror Show? He's going to feel responsible to have to send you a movie a week. That's terrible.
That would be awesome.
Either that or every time I skip an episode because I wasn't on that one.
When we go see the Kingdom of the Spiders episode.
We got some clothing in here. Looks like a shirt.
Oh, boy.
It's a shirt of Richard D's.
He's nuts.
Unveiling.
Did it come in tall and lanky? Oh, that is graphic. That is
fucking
sick.
Dope.
Dude.
And that is so not Ghostface from part 5.
Dude,
that is awesome. Because look, he's actually competent because he's killed somebody.
Oh, no, Ghostface are competent.
That's definitely
that's kind of their thing.
Definitely Stu in the Ghostface.
Ghostface is definitely the clumsiest fucking slasher, and it's always somebody different. So it's like, can somebody get their shit together? What if one day there's going to be a Ghostface who's like, I've been training my whole life to be Ghostface.
That scene in the hallway where the little girl knocks him down.
Let's see. We got another unveiling.
Oh.
Ooh,
nice. Slashers come out and play.
It's like a little Mount Rushmore +2.
Yeah, and it's like an homage to the Warriors, right? That's what it looks like to me.
And Chucky.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
It's the Warriors, but the slashers.
Hell yeah. Dude, these are going to be...
Ghostface should be tripping, though. Ghostface should be tripping.
Dude, these are going to be so sick for the streams, bro. Thank you, Two Gun. Dude, these are fucking sick. And there's one more. Holy shit. Holy shit. Damn. Two Gun, bro. Always.
Pew to the pew.
Let's see. Last unveiling.
Here we go.
Oh
my God.
Yeah, dude.
That's the best of the bunch. That's the bunch.
Dude.
No tears, please.
This is my favorite.
It's a waste of good suffering.
Oh my dude, I don't have any Pinhead. I don't know if I've ever seen a Pinhead shirt or any Hellraiser shirts, period.
I have
a Wild or anything.
I have one that you one time told me was awesome. It was a Famous Monsters Pinhead shirt. I have outgrown it, but I'm working hard to get back into it.
Oh, story of my life, man.
That's so cool. The box. You opened it. You got these awesome shirts.
What is that behind him, those two things? Because at first I thought, is that the Hellraiser 3
That's
statue?
Benny and Jack.
Benny and June, I thought.
Benny and June.
Dude. This shit is so
dude, that's fucking dope. Pew to the motherfucking pew, homeboy. Pew to
the fact too that it's black and white makes it look so much better.
That's so fucking cool,
dude,
bro.
Seriously.
Dude, Doug Bradley doesn't even have one of those, I bet. That's fucking awesome.
Dude, that shit is sick. I can't believe it. All three of these, bro. I love this one. So I love that. Damn, bro, these are awesome, man. Dude, thank you.
Oh shit! I just got good news, man. They found me a girl.
I've been waiting.
I've been waiting, bro. Like, I'm hopefully not Putin approved.
Right. They're over here talking about Putin and shit. It's like, what does that have to do with pussy? What the fuck is going on?
Dude, Two Gun, that was phenomenal, bro.
Hell yeah.
Man. I'm straight ready for Horror Fest, bro.
Hell yeah.
Dude, we got 2 fucking awesome new movie. One new one that we've never seen, and one that Robbie's never seen either. So dude, this is one of the sneak peek for Horror Fest right here, y'all.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out if this is getting reviewed no matter what. This could be reviewed in the next couple weeks, honestly.
But I'm just gonna say, give me the list as soon as you can, because the reveal's in 2 weeks, and I need thumbnails, and that means I need thumbnails in 2 weeks. So
wait,
there you go.
The reveal's in 2 weeks.
The reveal's in 2 weeks, so I need thumbnails in 2 weeks. So
you're saying
give me your list
now? Oh, give me.
Yes, brother.
Give me.
If only you had like a long time to work on that.
I know, man. I'm just trying to make it perfect, and plus, I fucked up by throwing a couple 1 or 2 Wes Craven titles. Not thinking you just were doing
Wes Craven is a spotlight in Horror Fest.
I noticed.
Please do. I personally want you to do Last House on the Left.
I just watched it for the first time a couple days ago.
What'd you think?
I understand a lot of things, a lot of references now. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what, dude, I never realized, is it common knowledge that Freddy Krueger's name comes from the 2 villains in that movie? Is that something people know?
I don't think so. I don't think a lot of people watch this movie because it's an uncomfortable movie, man.
Right. Yeah,
it is. I think I talked a lot about it when we talked about Henry.
Last House on the Left.
Right. It's funny, dude, because I'm like, a lot of the Tobe Hooper references you were making, I was like, I get it now. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yep.
But no, I thought that was cool. Like the 2 villains, one's name's Fred, the other name's Krug. It's like,
Yeah, I was hoping Dylan would pick it up, but we're doing 3. We have dedicated 3 PCP movie nights for Horror Fest to Wes Craven. 2 of them being franchise reviews. Everybody already knows we're doing Scream and Nightmare on Elm Street. There's another Wes Craven film we're doing, and we've been doing Wes Craven films. So I was hoping Dylan would pick up on I want you to do some Wes Craven films.
Oh man.
Last House on the Left,
I wanted to do, you already picked. I don't know if I want Last House on the Left.
Oh, come on, bruh.
I'm not
like
I'll have to watch it again and think about it.
Bro, we need to do Last House on the Left.
Regardless, there's some movies that even the conversation might be worth it.
Let me get one of the
but I already got a fucking crew assigned for that one, man.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Come on, do me a solid, man. Do Last House on the Left, bro.
I'm gonna look at all his movies. Maybe I'll have a better one than The House. Maybe Curse.
That's his first film.
Well, that's what makes it. Because that's what I love, is to see the evolution of people. Like you kind of look at it as like a piece of history in a way.
Dylan, you watched Mother's Day. It's pretty close.
Dude, I love Mother's Day.
Yeah, I don't know why you're hesitant about. You're like Dylan's like Last House on the Left is a bridge too fucking far for me.
No, it's just not one that I'm crazy about at all.
Oh, I love that movie, bro. That's on.
All. I'm not saying that it's too far, bro. Who are you talking to? Dude, I live for that shit. It's just I don't know. I've never been crazy about that one.
Is the remake worth a watch?
No.
I know a lot.
That's I grew up more with the remake.
Well, that's why it would make a great Dylan's Horror Show, because it would be curious to know what you think of it today.
Right. Wait, the remake or the
OG?
Fuck the remake, bro. The OG. The remake sucks. Don't worry about it.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not really good.
Anyway. Do whatever you want for Horror Fest, but I'm telling you, man. I want you to do Last House.
I'm finished. Give me a couple more days at most, and I'll have it ready. Because I got the next couple days off, so I'm gonna be going. I'm gonna be heavy on it.
I hope everybody's enjoyed this little bit of back chat. This is usually a conversation that would take place.
You got anything you want to throw out there before we get out of here?
Tomorrow night, Rock and Robbie live. I'll be talking about Nope. These fine fellas, have already talked about Nope. I'll be talking about Nope. I'll be talking about Youngblood #2. Monday night, PCP movie night, True Lies. Come on, y'all.
I'll be there.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited for this show. It's going to be a good time. So
I'm watching it tomorrow, man. I haven't seen it in 20 years, probably. I'm stoked to watch True Lies.
That's what we got. So join us for Rock and Robbie Live and PCP Movie Night. True Lies. We're like Action Fest to me, like I like it, but like to me, it's just the step to fucking Horror Fest, bro. I'm like so excited for Horror Fest.
Hell yeah, dude.
Vern's seen that list, at least my side of the list, and man, we're gonna have a good time this year.
Fire.
Yeah, we are.
Week after week, like each one of them is a fucking top of the line.
Did you say what you wanted to say? About what you got coming up?
He did.
Yes. All right, Scarpad, did you have anything, Vern?
No. What's that?
I'll be joining Robbie PCP Movie Night Monday night. Be there, be square.
All right. Love y'all, man. We'll see y'all next Saturday. Y'all have a great one. Peace out.
Hey.